Assalamu alaikum students. In the last lecture, we have learned to use some relation operators which include inverse operator, domain and range function, composition operator, and domain and range restriction. In this lecture, we will focus to learn more relational operators which include domain and range subtraction, overriding operator, and relation image. Therefore, the topics of today's lecture would be domain and range subtraction, overriding operator, relation image, and the use of all these operators to write predicates using relation variables about the software development. Students, we have already learned about the domain and range restriction operator. Now we learn about the domain and range subtraction operator. The domain subtraction operator is represented by triangle with a line indicating towards the left. It has two arguments. The first argument is a set, which is actually a subset of domain, and the second argument is a relation. It is similar to the domain restriction operator, except that the subset over which the restriction is to be held includes those elements not specified as the first operand. The output relation is without the order pairs whose first elements are in the set as the first argument. Now we'll discuss about the range subtraction operator. The range subtraction operator is represented by a triangle with a line indicating towards the right. It also has two arguments. The first argument is a relation and the second argument is a set, which is actually a subset of range set. It is similar to a range restriction operator, except that the subset over which restriction is to hold includes those elements not specified as second operand. Let us demonstrate the domain and range subtraction operator with an example. Consider we have a relation R with 5 order pairs, and relation R is declared on relation data type x double arrow y or from x to y. So x is a domain set for relation R and y is a range set for relation R. So whenever we apply the domain subtraction operator, we consider a set A, which is a subset of domain set X, and it includes two elements A and B. So domain subtraction operator would return another relation which include order pairs without the elements of set A. So you can see that the return or the answer of this operator has 3 order pairs which doesn't include the order pairs with element A and B. Similarly, whenever we apply the range subtraction operator, its first argument is a relation R and second argument is a set B, which is actually subset of range set Y. It has two elements, so the return type would be another relation and it includes those order pairs without elements in set B. So there is no order pair in the answer of this operator which include the order pairs having 2 and 3. Now we discuss the formal definition of domain and range subtraction operator. Domain subtraction of A from R, where R is a relation on X double arrow Y, which is a relation data type. Now A is a subset of X, which is a domain set, and which we want to subtract the order pairs from relation R. Then this operator would not include the order pairs which belong to set A. Similarly, range subtraction of B from R is represented by this operator, and this set would not include those order pairs which are with the elements of set B. Now consider relation R declared on A double arrow B, which is a relation data type, and subset S of domain set A and subset T of range set B. Then we can show the following properties: that domain subtraction operator can be represented by the domain restriction operator by subtracting the subset from domain A. Similarly, range subtraction operator can be represented by range restriction operator by subtracting the subset B, by subtracting the subset T from range set B. And the return type of domain subtraction operator would be the same as relation R. Similarly, the return type of the range subtraction operator would remain same as the relation R. Now consider if we want to subtract a subset female under relation has sibling, then the return relation would be is brother of. By subtracting the subset female in the relation has sibling, the relation has sibling would be changed to the relation is brother of. So in this way, the nature of the relation would be changed. Similarly, by applying the range subtraction operator under same relation has sibling, and if we subtract under range female, it is a subset of range set of this relation, then the return relation would be the has brother. Similarly, the has sibling relation would change its nature by applying the range subtraction operator, and it would become has brother. In order to elaborate the concept of domain and range subtraction operator, we consider a practical example. Let's consider a relation variable access file which is declared on relation data type users double arrow files, where users contain 5 elements and files also contain 5 elements, 5 files. There are 5 users and 5 files, and the one possible value of the relation variable access file is given by the 7 order pairs. स्टूडेंट्स, अगर हम जो है विलियम्स और जॉन्स के अलावा बाकी जो यूज़र्स हैं उनको जिन फाइल की एक्सेस हासिल है वो जानना चाहें, तो हम जो है विलियम्स और जॉन्स एक सबसेट होगा जो कि यूजर्स का सबसेट होगा, इसको हम सब्ट्रैक्ट कर देंगे अंडर रिलेशन एक्सेस फाइल्स। तो रिटर्न में हमें जो ऑर्डर पेयर्स मिलेंगे ये वो वाले ऑर्डर पेयर्स होंगे जिसमें विलियम्स और जॉन्स की फाइल्स नहीं होंगी। सो इट वुड कंटेन ऑर्डर पेयर्स विदाउट विलियम्स एंड जॉन्स। तो यहाँ से हम जो है ये वाला ऑर्डर पेयर हम डिस्कार्ड कर देंगे टू गेट द रिटर्न रिलेशन, और जॉन्स के साथ भी जो ऑर्डर पेयर्स होंगे ये वाला ऑर्डर पेयर ये भी हम डिस्कार्ड कर देंगे, एंड return relation would contain 5 order pairs other than William and John's। क्योंकि रिलेशन वेरिएबल एक तरह से एक टेबल को शो करता है, एक्सेस फाइल इज अ टेबल विद 2 एट्रीब्यूट्स यूजर एंड फाइल्स। तो अगर हम जो है वो वाली रोज टेबल की वो रोज देखना चाहते हैं जिसमें विलियम्स और जॉन्स ना आए, तो हम जो है डोमेन सब्ट्रैक्शन ऑपरेटर इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। सिमिलरली अगर हम अपडेट 3 और टेक्स्ट 3 फाइल्स के अलावा जो फाइल्स हैं इनके यूजर्स के बारे में जानना चाहते हैं कि इन फाइल्स के अलावा जो फाइल्स हैं इनके यूजर कौन कौन से हैं, तो इस सेट को हम जो है सब्ट्रैक्ट करेंगे अंडर रिलेशन एक्सेस फाइल्स और रेंज सब्ट्रैक्शन ऑपरेटर्स यूज करेंगे। So by applying the range subtraction operator with the subset update 3 and text 3, it would return another relation containing those order pairs without update 3 and text 3 files। तो अब इसमें जो रिटर्न रिलेशन है इसमें अपडेट 3 और टेक्स्ट 3 के अलावा जो फाइल्स हैं उनके यूजर्स के बारे में ऑर्डर पेयर्स दिए गए हैं। Now we discuss some properties of domain and range based operators. Let's consider X is a type of power set of T1, or we can say that X is a subset of T1. Similarly, Y is a type of power set of T2, or we can say that Y is a subset of T2, and relation variable R is declared on T1 double arrow T2, or we can represent it as a set of all possible relations by taking the Cartesian product of T1 cross T2. We have already discussed about how can we make a relation data type by taking two sets. So R is a type of T1 double arrow T2. The following properties might be of use in proving properties of these constructions. Now domain of the domain restriction operator under relation R would be subset of X, which is actually taken as a first argument. Similarly, range of the domain subtraction operator, where X is the first argument as a subset, would be subset of range of R, and domain of range subtraction operator under relation R by taking Y as a subset, it would be the subset of domain of R, and range of range restriction operator under relation R to subset Y would be subset of Y. Now we have an overriding operator in the relations. One operator which is related to the restriction operators is the relation overriding operator, which is represented by plus symbol within a circle. This is often used in specifications where a number of relations are used and where one relation is very much like another except for some pairs. The overriding operator can model databases updates, and both of its arguments are relations, and both the relation must be of the same type. The type of the both the arguments for this operator must be declared on same relational data type. This has the effect of adding new tuples or order pairs and replacing old ones. Its value is a relation that contains the tuples from both relations except that tuples in the second argument replace any tuples from the first argument that have the same first component. A typical application of overriding operator might occur in a database applications. For example, banking, where the fact that an account holder has a numbered account is modeled by a relation variable has account which is over n cross names, where for the relation variable has account has two attributes. The first attribute is a non-negative integers and the second attribute is a names. At times during the day a new count has to be added to relation variable has account, and occasionally a new account is assigned to an existing account holder. If these are held in the relation update, this is another relation update of the same type n cross names, then the effect of updating has account relation can be obtained by applying the overriding operator. So the current value of has account relation variable can be obtained by applying the overriding operator on both the relations has account and update. Let us demonstrate the overriding operator with an example and consider a relation variable has account in a banking system, and the value of relation variable has account contain four order pairs. Account number 1173 is assigned to Jones, 1148 is assigned to Thomas, 1176 is assigned to Jones, and 493 is assigned to Wilson. And there is another relation update contain three order pairs representing some updates in has account relation. And to get the updation in the relation variable has account, we apply the overriding operator. Students, to get the answer of overriding operator, you must consider each order pair in the first relation हैज काउंट में पहला ऑर्डर पेयर उसका जो पहला एलिमेंट 1173 है उसको आप यहां सर्च करें एंड यू कैन नॉट फाइंड 1173 इन ऑल दीज रिलेशन ऑर्डर पेयर्स, तो इसमें कोई अपडेशन नहीं है और ये ऑर्डर पेयर सेम आपके जो है आंसर का पार्ट बन जाएगा. Then you go to next order pair and its first element is 1148, and you search it in a update relation, और 1148 अब जो है टीम्स को असाइन है तो इसमें अपडेशन है, and this order pair would be a part of your answer. Now again go to the first relation, and next order pair contain account number 1176, और 1176 अपडेट रिलेशन में नहीं अपीयर होता, और ये सेम ऑर्डर पेयर ही आपके जो है आंसर का पार्ट बन जाएगा. एंड सिमिलरली 493 doesn't appear in update relation, and it would become same order pair in your answer. And now there are two new counts appearing in update relation. Both these order pairs would also be the part of your answer. इस तरह से आपके पास जो है अब 6 ऑर्डर पेयर्स, 4 पहले थे हैज काउंट रिलेशन में ऑर्डर पेयर्स, और 2 अब ये नए हैं, तो इसलिए 4 + 2 6 ऑर्डर पेयर वुड बी इन योर करंट वैल्यू ऑफ हैज काउंट अपडेट रिलेशन. And the overriding operator can be expressed by using the domain subtraction operator, and same formula can be applied on these two relations. Student, you need to apply this formula on this example and you will get the same answer, and you must do it. Now we have another relation has file, in which user 1 has file 1, user 3 has file update, user 5 has file text, user 7 has file new, and user 8 has file update. Now there is updation in this relation, and we have another relation variable update contain 2 order pairs. User 1 now has file new text and user 7 has file old text. Now by applying the overriding operator, we get that user 1 now has a new text file and user 7 has now old text file, and this updation is reflected in the return relation set. Now the return relation contain 5 order pairs, which was actually in the original relation variable, and as I mentioned in the last slide that the same answer can be obtained by applying the formula where R stand for the old relation. For example, you can replace R with has file relation, and S can be replaced with the update relation, and by applying the domain subtraction operator you get the same answer. So you must apply this formula to get the same answer given in this slide. Now we have another important relational operator, which is known as relational image. The relational image operator provides us the images of specified values in given relation. Therefore, it has two arguments. Its first argument is a relation, and its second argument is a set of elements from the domain, and it returns value in the set of corresponding elements from the range. The image of a set S through a relation R is a set of elements which are second elements of pairs contained in R whose first elements are in S. Formally, the set image operator is represented by a bracket, which is represented by in this format. For example, we have a relational variable phone, and under this relation we want to know the phone numbers of specified elements, which are Ali and Fahad, which actually return us the phone numbers of specified elements Ali and Fahad. Then we input the elements as a set under relation phone and apply this operator, and what we get, the second elements in order pairs associated with the Ali and Fahad. So these are the return values for the relational image operator. The argument between brackets is not a single individual, it is an entire set. Just I mentioned that we need to uh, input a set as an argument under relation, and the value of the image is another set. Secondly, the relational image operator can model table lookup. Students, as I mentioned in the last slide, that relational image operator has two arguments. Its first argument is a relation and its second argument is a set whose images are needed to obtain. For example, we have a relation R, which is actually its first argument for relational image operator, and it has 5 outer pairs which are depicted in a diagram with arrows or with mapping. A1 is represented by mapping A1 and B2 is represented by mapping B2 and so on. Now the second argument is a set which is actually A, set A, and we want to know the images of the elements in set A. Mean to say that we want to know the images associated with the elements in set A, which are actually A, B. So we apply the relational image operator and we input a set A, and what it returns, the return value would be the images in the mapping of element of set A. For example, the element associated with element A is 1, so 1 would be the in the set of output, and 2 is associated with second element of set A, which is B, so 2 would also be the element of output set. So what we get as output is a set of images of set A. Now the question arises, we have another image operator which is known as a domain restriction, and in domain restriction operator we also have two arguments, a relation and a set. but domain restriction operator return us order pairs, not just the images. So if we apply the range of the domain restriction operator, then we will get the same answer. Students, you need to apply this formula to get the answer. Students, we have already discussed that a relation variable can model a table in database, and in relational image the second argument, which is a set, is actually a query for its first argument, which is a relation or table. Now consider an example which has a relational variable has access and contain the following order pairs, which actually contain 7 order pairs, or you can say that a table has 7 rows and 2 columns, and we have a second argument which is a set, and we name it as a file query, and it has 2 elements, John and Robert. The relational variable has access actually represents the names having access of files. For example, John's has access file text2, Roberts has access of file text3, and so on. And if we want to know the files for John's and Roberts, we actually input this set as a query in a relational image operator under relation has access. If I want to elaborate in the term of databases, then I must say that in a table has access, we want to know the access of files for Johns and Roberts. Then how can we get the output or images of the following elements of the set file query? We go in a table or in a relational order pairs and find the second element of John associated with John. So the second element in order pair which is associated with John is text2. Therefore text2 would be the in the output set, and there is no other element with John's. Now we need to search the files associated with Roberts. So Roberts has access of 2 files. Roberts has access of file text3, and it would be the in set of output. And Robert also has access of file update, and it would also be a member of our output set. Similarly, if we want to know the access of files of Johns and Thomas, then again we put this set as an argument in relational image operator, and we get the output set which are associated files with the Johns and Thomas, and we can find those files by looking into these order pairs, or you can say that in this table. Similarly, if we want to know the access of file which has Saad, so we input as a second argument in the form of set in the relational image operator, and Saad is not appearing in the has access table or in the has access relational order pairs. So the output set would be empty set. Students, we have done with the available relational operators, and I listed all the operators which we have discussed in the last lecture and in this lecture, and you can see that there are domain and range function, inverse operator, composition operator, domain and range restriction operators, domain and range subtraction operators, overriding operator, and relational image. So all these operators which are available for relational variables. Students, we have already learned about constructing the relational data type and declaring relational variables on relation type. Secondly, we have already discussed about 10 operators which are used for relational variables, and now we start constructing predicates using declared variables, relation type variables, and operators available for relation variables. And this concept is very much similar to any programming language where we have available primitive data types, and we start learning declaring variables on those available types, and then we construct our programs using declared variables. Now consider an example in a library management system where we have a relation variable borrow book which is declared on set of all possible relations from person to book, or you can say that borrow book is declared on person double arrow book, which is a relational data type. Now in this library management system we want to specify that a borrower, a person P, can borrow at most 3 books. So in our software design we want to specify this property that a person or a borrower cannot borrow more than 3 books. So we can use a domain restriction operator, and this operator would return us the order pairs associated with person P, which is actually a borrower, and this is a basically cardinality operator, and the number of order pairs cannot be more than 3. स्टूडेंट्स, इस तरह से हम जो है ये प्रेडिकेट डिजाइन कर सकते हैं. इसमें हमने जो है ये एक रिलेशनल वेरिएबल विच इज बोरो बुक यूज किया है, और इसमें ये हमारे पास एक तरह से क्वेरी है या पर्सन है जो कि बोरो करता है बुक को, और ये जो है नंबर ऑफ ऑर्डर पेयर्स जो हैं ये 3 से ज़्यादा नहीं हो सकते. एंड सेम प्रेडिकेट कैन बी रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय यूजिंग रिलेशनल इमेज ऑपरेटर. इसमें दूसरी अहम बात यह है स्टूडेंट्स कि हम यहाँ पर डोमेन रिस्ट्रिक्शन ऑपरेटर ही क्यों इस्तेमाल करना चाहते हैं. तो इसमें आपके लिए हिंट ये है कि हम जो रिस्ट्रिक्शन है वो पर्सन पे लगा रहे हैं, एंड पर्सन इज अपीयरिंग इन अ डोमेन फॉर रिलेशन वेरिएबल बोरो बुक. तो इसमें लाजमी तौर पर डोमेन रिस्ट्रिक्शन ऑपरेटर ही आएगा. Now we consider another example, and this example is similar to the example discussed in the previous slide. And in this example we are considering a university management system, and we have a relation variable registered which is declared on relation data type student double arrow course, and we want to specify that a student cannot register more than 5 courses in a semester. So we are actually restricting a student to take not more than 5 courses. स्टूडेंट, जिस तरह आपको मैंने लास्ट स्लाइड में बताया है कि जिस ऑब्जेक्ट पे हम रिस्ट्रिक्शन लगा रहे हैं तो हमें देखना चाहिए कि वो रिलेशन डेटा टाइप में डोमेन में अपीयर हो रहा है या वो रेंज में अपीयर हो रहा है. सो वी आर रिस्ट्रिक्टिंग ऑन स्टूडेंट. सो स्टूडेंट is appearing in domain, therefore we need to apply the domain restriction operator. तो डोमेन रिस्ट्रिक्शन ऑपरेटर जो है हमें वो वाले ऑर्डर पेयर रिटर्न करेगा जो कि स्टूडेंट से एसोसिएटेड है, एक सिंगल स्टूडेंट से एसोसिएटेड है, एंड कार्डिनलिटी ऑपरेटर वुड रिटर्न अस अ नंबर विच मस्ट नॉट मोर देन 5. तो इस तरह से हम जो है इस प्रेडिकेट को यूजिंग डोमेन रिस्ट्रिक्शन ऑपरेटर लिख सकते हैं. एंड relational image operator can also be used instead of domain restriction operator. Now we construct another predicate in a university management system, and we want to specify that not more than 50 students can be registered in a course C. And we have a relation variable registered which is declared on relation data type student double arrow course, and we use a range restriction operator to specify the predicate that not more than 50 students can be registered in a course. स्टूडेंट, आपसे सवाल है कि why we use range restriction operator instead of domain restriction operator. तो इसका आंसर ये होगा कि अब रिस्ट्रिक्शन जो है हम कोर्स पे लगा रहे हैं कि एक कोर्स में 50 से ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट रजिस्टर नहीं हो सकते, एंड कोर्स इज अपीयरिंग in range in a relation data type, so we need to use range restriction operator. So we apply the range restriction operator to relational variable registered and for one course C, and cardinality would be the number of order pairs which are associated with course C, and this number should not exceed 50. So we specified the property of software of university management system that in a single course we cannot register more than 50 students. Students, we learn in this lecture about few relational operators which include domain and range subtraction, overriding operator, and relational image operator. Then we learned the use of those operators in predicates, that how can we use these operators with relational variables to make predicates. So that was the summary of this lecture. Students, the content of this lecture was taken from section number 4.1.8 and section number 4.1.9 in chapter 4 of the book Software Development with Z. So you must read section 4.1.8 and 4.1.9, and that's all for today's lecture. Allah Hafiz.